Back in 2013, NBC started a new show called The Blacklist. The story was about an FBI agent called Elizabeth Keene teaming up with a really dangerous criminal named Raymond "Red" Reddington. Throughout the show, it became hard to figure out who could be trusted and who was really bad. Each episode was about Reddington and the FBI trying to catch criminals, some of whom the FBI didn't even know existed. Before we dive into the details, subscribe to the CineWizard and hit the bell icon to stay up to date on the latest news and reviews.
I remember everything.
The Blacklist went on for 10 seasons, and people loved many episodes. Fans went on IMDb to say which ones were their favorite. They liked episodes where they tried to stop a big plan by powerful people and when they searched intensely for Elizabeth's husband, Tom. Now let's find out which episodes fans loved the most according to IMDb.
Well, what's with all the security?
Presidential debate. Anyone tries anything, they're gonna shoot first, ask questions later.
At number 10 we have Season 10, Episode 21. Congressman Hudson is putting a lot of pressure on the task force. They are working really hard to figure out what Raymond Reddington, the main character, will do next. After 10 years of trying to catch different mysterious criminals, some secrets about Red are hinted at. This is the beginning of the last episode of the show, called Raymond Reddington Part 1. People were really impressed by the exciting ending. Since the show started, they always teased about the truth of Red, and this episode, along with the series finale, finally gave viewers some answers and closure.
No, we don't, because Raymond Reddington is nowhere near that vessel.
I understand your hesitation.
At number 9 we have Season 6, Episode 14. Raymond Reddington gives Elizabeth a special job. She has to check out a secret group of killers hired by big intelligence agencies. They are there to get rid of former agents. While doing this, Elizabeth finds out some really important secrets that will have a big impact on the FBI task force. This is not just an episode, it's the middle of the season finale called The Osterman Umbrella Company No. 6. People loved it because it showed the best of Raymond Reddington. It had a lot of exciting action and suspense, and the acting from James Spader, who plays Reddington, was excellent.
Samar has new papers. Different place to go.
At number 8 we got Season 6, Episode 22. Time is running out and the President of the United States has some really bad plans. Elizabeth and the task force are working hard to stop a big disaster. At the same time, Red meets with a man who knows important things about his past. This is the end of Season 6 and it's called Robert Diaz, number 15. It finishes the exciting story about the President. This story goes through most of Season 6, showing the FBI task force going up against the President and his closest advisors in a scary and satisfying battle. At number 7 we got Season 4, Episode 22. Red tries a risky plan to save the FBI task force. But because of this, Liz starts asking really important questions about her past, and it might make her disagree with her closest friends. Mr. Kaplan is an important character in the show, and in Mr. Kaplan number 4 conclusion, things get intense. The episode ends with Mr. Kaplan, also known as Catherine Kaplan, meeting a sad end. Even though she's gone, the effect she had on Liz, Red, and the FBI task force stays for a long time.
I ran his DNA 2 weeks after we met.
At number 6 we got Season 4, Episode 17. Raymond Reddington is heading towards a dangerous clash with a friend who turned into an enemy. This friend is trying to destroy everything Reddington has built. Meanwhile, we get to see glimpses of Mr. Kaplan's past, which leads her back to Red. The episode called Requiem is a mix of looking back in time and what's happening now. It reveals lots of secrets about Mr. Kaplan, who used to be a close friend but later became an enemy of Raymond. Most of Season 4 is about the fight between Red and Kaplan, and this episode helps us understand how they became friends and why they ended up on opposite sides.
August 11, 2006. Died of blunt force trauma to the right temple.
At number 5, we got Season 6, Episode 19. In a special episode called Raswet, We go back in time to see what happened to Katerina Rostova, who is Elizabeth Keene's mother. Katerina finds herself in a foreign country in trouble after a mission goes wrong. She's being hunted and she has to be very careful. With not many options left, she turns to the only person she can trust. This episode is the 19th one of the season. It gives us a closer look at Raymond Reddington and Elizabeth's mom, Katerina Rostova. We get to see how she acted and even learn about the time when she faked her own death. It's like a trip back to time to understand more about the characters.
We have to get rid of the bodies.
You on her side too? At the moment, I'd say we're all on the same side.
At number 4 we got Season 3 Episode 9. Raymond Reddington wants something important back, so he makes a fake crime scene to get it. Unfortunately, Elizabeth gets caught and she's taken into custody. Her friends who believe in the truth gather to try and help her stay alive. This is just the start of the 2-part story called The Director number 24. People really liked it because the actors did a great job, and it left everyone hanging on the edge with an intense cliffhanger. This episode marks the beginning of the end for Elizabeth Keene's time in jail.
Technicians figured out why the code box does not work. Apparently it was changed.
At number 3 we got Season 2 Episode 22. Liz finds out that a group called the Cabal framed her for something she didn't do. Red uses his connections to help clear her name. The FBI team has a hard time trusting each other, but Harold Cooper gets some good news. This is the last episode of Season 2 called Tom Connolly, number 11. Fans loved it because it had a lot of action, suspense, and great acting from James Spader and Megan Boone. It's also where we say goodbye to Tom Connolly, who was a friend of Harold Cooper since the first season.
And I know why my father died that night.
At number 2 we got Season 3 Episode 10. Elizabeth Keene is still in jail and she's thinking about accepting a deal that talks about her husband, Tom Keene's death. At the same time, a group called the Cabal wants to kill her. Red asks the FBI to work together to prove she's innocent. This is the second part of a story called The Director number 24. It brings together many storylines from previous episodes. By the end, Agent Keene is cleared of charges, released from jail, and hopes to go back to being an FBI agent.
King, paperwork's all ready.
You can't find us.
Let's go.
At number 1 we have Season 5 Episode 8. Tom Keene is nowhere to be found, and Elizabeth has to go back to where he was to find and rescue him. Meanwhile, Red is searching for a suitcase with important things inside, which would help him against those trying to harm him. In the episode called Ian Garvey, number 13, after 5 years and a brief spin-off, we say goodbye to Tom Keene, who was a big part of the show. This episode is also the mid-season finale and includes a jump in time. Liz wakes up months after her husband's death, bringing a new twist to the story. The Blacklist's top episodes on IMDb showcase a mix of intense action, suspenseful storylines, and character development, keeping fans engaged over its 10-season run. For more videos like this, subscribe to the Cine Wizard and press the bell icon to get notifications.